Hey Lakers Nation, welcome to the Lakers Nation news feed. My name is Trevor Lane and it is a good day in LA because the Lakers just beat those hated Boston Celtics. We're going to talk all about that, plus some trade rumors going on with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the latest on Paul George. But first, I got to tell you guys about SeatGeek. You want to make sure that you go to the SeatGeek app, use the promo code NATION, and you can get $20 off your next ticket or concert order because they have partnered with us and they do a phenomenal job of not only getting you tickets but rating the tickets based on how good of a deal you are getting. It's super easy to use. I use the app myself all the time, so go check it out, SeatGeek app, and use that promo code NATION. Okay, so the Los Angeles Lakers hung on to defeat the Boston Celtics. We have to talk about this real quick before we get into the trade rumors. It was a heck of a game. The Lakers certainly scared us down the stretch. I think my heart was going to beat out of its chest like most Lakers fans were. But you know what? In the end, the Lakers walked away with the victory. The Achilles heel turned out to be free throws again. The Lakers were up 6 with about 26 seconds to go, and somehow it ended up being a 1-point game. KCP had a chance to hit 2 free throws at the line at the end, missed them both, and then Marcus Smart missed a game-winning 3 at the buzzer. But we got to make sure that we mention here Kyle Kuzma, one heck of a game, 5 of 7 from 3. He had 28 points overall. He was unstoppable. This was the best performance of the month by far by Kyle Kuzma. He looked like his old self, the Kyle Kuzma that we saw back in November. So this was a phenomenal performance from him. Jordan Clarkson, another very, very nice night. 8 of 17 shooting. We'll take that. 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Nice to see him getting to the line, something that has been a struggle for him in the past. 5 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a great all-around performance, put up 22 points. And also a shout-out to my boy Julius Randle, 14 points, 14 rebounds. Really nice night for him going against Al Horford. There were moments when he was just physically overwhelming. So those were the 3 main pieces for the Lakers in this one. And of course, with this win, the Lakers have now moved up a bit. If the draft lottery were to take place today, the Lakers would have the 9th worst record. So it's a little bit easier to send maybe the 9th pick in the draft to the Philadelphia 76ers. Hopefully they continue this win streak. They are actually on a 3-game win streak right now, and they can send an even weaker pick out to Philadelphia rather than surrendering a very nice pick to either Philly or Boston. So let's keep winning and let's keep turning around the direction of the franchise so that free agents, when they're looking at the Lakers next summer, they see this as a team on the rise. So hopefully the Lakers can keep this moving. Now, Brian Windhorst of ESPN, we got to jump into some trade rumors here. Brian Windhorst of ESPN yesterday on The Jump mentioned that the Cavs have talked to the Los Angeles Lakers about a trade. Now, Windhorst was saying this just to illustrate the fact that the Cavs right now are so desperate. They've lost a number of games. They are really, really struggling. He was just illustrating the fact that the Cavs are so desperate that they will talk to anybody at this point, even a team that has made it well known that they're going to be pursuing LeBron James next summer. Normally, you wouldn't want to do that because you don't want to make a team better that's going to be competing for the services of LeBron. But as Windhorst said, the Cavs have actually talked to the Lakers. So that doesn't necessarily mean that a deal is imminent or anything, especially with the Cavs rumored to be talking to the Kings and picking up some steam here in a deal that would send Iman Shumpert and Channing Frye to Sacramento in exchange for guard George Hill. But let's talk about what may have been going on with the Lakers. We don't know what the Cavs wanted from LA. We don't know for sure, but this is my educated guess here. So again, this is speculation. This is not an actual rumor that I've heard, but just looking at the numbers, we can kind of put the pieces together and figure out what it is that Cleveland would have been after. Assuming that the pieces they were looking to trade were, again, Channing Frye and Iman Shumpert, those seem to be the 2 guys that they are trying to put together. They could, in theory, use both of them to try to trade for Clarkson and Randle, offering the Lakers a little bit of salary relief. I don't see that happening. Obviously, the Lakers would not accept that offer. If that's what they really offered, then, of course, the talks wouldn't go very far. Channing Frye is indeed an expiring contract, but Iman Shumpert is tricky. He makes over $10 million this year, and then this is where it gets bad. He has a player option next year for $11 million that he is fairly likely to pick up. So, assuming he picks that up, that kills a lot of the value for the Lakers because if he was an expiring contract, they could at least say, hey, he is freeing up some cap space for us for next summer by expiring this year. So then maybe there's some more value there in Iman Shumpert. But for right now, having that $11 million next year is a actual deal breaker, I would imagine. Now, if they wanted to try to increase the value to the Lakers, maybe they offer Iman Shumpert straight up for Jordan Clarkson. Maybe throw in a second-round pick. No question, Jordan Clarkson is the better player, but again, Jordan Clarkson, after this season, he has 2 years and about $26 million left on his deal. Iman Shumpert, even if he opts in, has 1 year and $11 million. For a team that is looking to create cap space, that is perhaps an easier number to deal with, Iman Shumpert's $11 million. So maybe the Cavs approach the Lakers with that in mind, hoping that they could sell them on the fact that Shumpert is only owed $11 million if he picks up his option, and who knows, maybe he doesn't. But at worst, he's owed $11 million, whereas Clarkson is owed $26 million and has that extra year. Still, I don't see that as a move the Lakers would be looking to make, even if the Cavs threw in a second-round pick or something like that, because, like I said, Jordan Clarkson is the better player. Losing him at this point would certainly weaken them, and therefore their home stretch, the last few months of the season, would not go all that well, and then they're kind of heading into the offseason with a little bit less momentum in theory, because they don't have Jordan Clarkson helping them win games. So that's another possible deal there. They also could have offered Channing Frye straight up for Julius Randle. That would work, but again, they would have to throw in some other asset to convince the Lakers to part with Randle because, of course, Randle is, again, the better player. And here's the thing. Perhaps you could make an argument that Channing Frye and, say, Derrick Rose for Jordan Clarkson, maybe that would work because that's all expiring money there for the Lakers. But the problem is, again, the salaries don't quite work. Jordan Clarkson makes a little bit too much, so it is not legal under the salary cap to do a Channing Frye and Derrick Rose deal for Clarkson. So we can kind of imagine what the Cavs will be looking for. They need another creator. They need a little bit more scoring. They could use a little bit of help inside. Julius Randle would fit that. Jordan Clarkson would fit that. They need guys who can help them win now, so they probably weren't going to be asking for a young player like, say, a Josh Hart, even though he has been pretty good this season. They'd probably be looking at guys that can help them win immediately. So again, I keep going back to Clarkson and Randle as the pair that he probably would have gone after. Brook Lopez is such a big contract. You know, I don't know the Lakers would be able to move him in a deal like this. So the pieces just don't really fit. The Cavs don't have the expiring contracts that the Lakers would be looking for in exchange for downgrading talent. And with the way the Lakers are playing right now, they're on a 3-game win streak. Who knows if they even want to downgrade talent at all anyway, because it would be a nice feather in their cap if they can finish the season strong and be seen as that up-and-coming team heading into free agency, as I've said. So again, I know the Cavs talked to the Lakers according to Windhorse on ESPN, but it just doesn't look like the pieces are really there for a deal to come together. Still, interesting to note that the Lakers are talking trade right now because the trade deadline is coming up. We've got just over 2 weeks now before the deadline, so they could still pull something off. Other big news piece, Lakers related in a way, is that Paul George did not make the All-Star team in the West. How big of a deal is this? I saw a lot of people online saying that this is a good thing for the Lakers because, I mean, hey, if Paul George was in LA, certainly that LA fan vote would have come into play, and he probably makes the All-Star team. And good chance they're right on that assessment. Probably does make it if he's a Laker. How important is it to Paul George that he is in the All-Star game? We don't know. If it's a big deal to him, then maybe this is a big positive thing for the Lakers and will be a big selling point for them next season. If he doesn't really care all that much about being an all-star, it's more important to him to be on a winning team, which seems likely, then maybe this isn't all that important. But still, certainly not a bad thing for the Lakers either way, because you can say, hey, look, Paul, you come to LA, really good shot that you are back on the All-Star team because of the exposure you'll be getting in LA, and of course, the massive Lakers fan base that'll be throwing in votes for you. Of course, I mean, we think about the Gordon Hayward move from last summer. Had he not got hurt, there was a very, very strong chance that he was going to be an All-Star in the weak Eastern Conference when he was having a tough time breaking through in the West. And Paul George kind of found that out. Making the All-Star team in the West is not easy. So if that's something that's important to him, maybe this summer he considers a jump to the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, guys, that is it for the Lakers Nation news feed, your source for all the latest Lakers news in 15 minutes or less. My name is Trevor Lane. You can find me on Twitter at Trevor_Lane. And of course, head to LakersNation.com for all the latest. And don't forget to go use that SeatGeek app and the promo code NATION for $20 off. See you next time.